Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today for our NATE webinar. My name's Daisy Weil. I'm the marketing manager at NATE, and I'm joined with Tony Spagnoli, our director of testing and education. For our webinar today, we'll keep all of the mics on mute, but if you have a question at any time, please go ahead and post it in the chat, and we'll try to answer it during the presentation or at the end. So I'd like to get started just by getting to know a little more about everyone in the room to make sure we can, tailor our presentation around all of you and what you're most interested in. So to start us off, would you mind sharing how many years of experience most of your technicians have? Type A, if it's less than 1 year, B, if it's 2 to 3, C, 4 to 5, or D, if you have a seasoned crew and it's 6 years or more. Okay, so we've got our someone who most of their technicians have 4 to 5 years of experience, another with 6 years or more, another with 4 to 5. Okay, so a lot of you work with experienced technicians. That's really great to hear. Okay. We'd also love to know the answer to this next question. How many technicians do you work with? So if you work with less than 10, if you could type A in the chat, 10 to 25 type B, 26 to 50 C, or more than 50 type D. Okay, so we've got a lot of A's and B's. Oh, awesome. Okay, so we've got a mix of everyone in the chat. A lot of you work with experienced technicians and are so that's all really helpful to know. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to kick things off just talking a little bit about NATE's history and our mission. So NATE was founded in 1997, and North American Technician Excellence is the nation's largest nonprofit certification organization for heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration technicians. We were created by the industry for the industry, and our vision is to be the leader in developing and recognizing professional HVACR technicians. NATE exams are developed by a technical board comprised of industry experts, and NATE certification exams are designed to validate a technician's knowledge and expertise in different areas of HVAC. So there's a lot of different reasons why people in the HVAC industry prefer NATE. So contractors prefer NATE certified technicians because they know they remain in the industry longer. They have the proven knowledge to do the job right the first time and are more productive than non-certified technicians. Manufacturers and distributors know that NATE certification encourages proper installation and service, which means fewer warranty returns and ultimately better bottom line. Educators and trainers benefit from NATE certification's uniform testing standards. The utilities appreciate NATE certification's focus on correctly installing and servicing sophisticated HVACR equipment, which saves energy and money. And consumers look for NATE certification because it ensures that a knowledgeable, well-trained, and highly experienced technician will service their home heating or cooling system. And we know that NATE technicians on average have higher salaries, are considered more valuable to employers, are in greater demand, and are preferred among customers. So to walk us through what our different certificate and exam options are and the recent changes, I'm going to pass things over to Tony.
All right. Thank you, Daisy. So NATE offers different types of exams depending on your technician's level of experience and skill level. So we have our certificate exams. Those are for technicians just kind of getting into the industry. So we have the ready to work exam for technicians about just starting to maybe about 6 months of experience. And then the HVAC support technician exam for technicians that have maybe about 6 months to 1 year experience working kind of more in a maintenance kind of tech role or a support role. Then we have our certification exams. We have the traditional pathway, which is taking a core and a specialty exam, and then you would earn a certification in that particular specialty. And we also have our new certified HVAC professional or CHP5 exam. And that is a group of 30 question exams that if a technician passes all 5 of those, they would earn that particular certification, the certified HVAC professional. Then we also have other credentials available. We have the industry competency exams, or ICE. Those are exams for more junior level technicians, generally given in 2 to 4 year technical schools. NATE offers the EPA 608 exam through our testing platform. We also have a ground source heat pump installer certification that we give jointly with the International Ground Source Heat Pump Association. And we also have an HVAC performance verifier exam that we give jointly with ResNet. So the certificate exams, so the difference between a certificate exam and a certification exam is that certificate exam, you're not NATE certified if you pass one of these exams. And they also do not expire. They don't need to be renewed. Once you earn the certificate, you have it. The thought being there that you would move on to the more complicated level of certification. So we have the Ready to Work certificate. That's a very entry-level exam designed for technicians just getting into the industry. Heavy focus on safety, general safety, and electrical safety, tool identification, component identification, basic fundamentals of heat transfer. Then we also have the HVAC support technician certificate exam. That particular exam is for technicians with about 6 months to 1 year experience. It covers the same kind of topics that the NATE certification exams cover, however, at a more fundamental level. We have our new certification, the Certified HVAC Professional, or CHP5. We had a series of meetings with different folks from around the industry, both the education, distributors, manufacturers, contractors, and technicians, and talked to them about how NATE could better serve them. And the feedback we got back was that technicians had a hard time preparing for the NATE exams because it covers so many different topics, especially across the specialty exam. So we took all those topics covered on those 2 exams and broke them down into 5 exams that can be taken individually. So it should be easier for technicians to study and prepare for each one of those sections. And then as they pass all 5 of those exams, they would earn that certification and be NATE certified. So it is 5 30-question exams as opposed to 1 50-question exam and 1 100-question exam. So the CHP5 pathway does cover most of the same content as the traditional core and specialty pathway. And it's at that same skill level. So it is for technicians with about 2 years of experience. A technician can take up to 6 months in between each exam. So even a newer tech getting into the field can start with the HVAC fundamentals or the electrical and controls exams. And then as they get more experience, continue to add the other exams until they've earned all 5. Those technicians you have that still prefer taking the core and specialty exam can continue to do that. That certification or those certifications aren't going anywhere. They'll still be available. And for the CHP5, the recertification requirements are the same. Every 2 years would require 16 hours of continuing education to renew. NATE also launched live online proctoring last year. That's a new service we have that allows technicians to take the exam from the comfort of their home or office, as long as they have a computer, a webcam, and a stable internet connection. The exams are administered through one of our exam vendors partners, Examity. This is what they do is remote proctoring. So they have tons of qualified remote proctors across the world. And they are able to pretty much proctor an exam at any time. and they know what to look out for to ensure technicians aren't cheating on those exams. They do full room scans. If you're looking off to the side too much or looking down too much, they'll ask you to scan the room. And then additionally, every single session is recorded and then reviewed afterwards to make sure that nothing inappropriate happened during the testing. And that live online proctoring is available for all of NATE's exams. Just some guidelines for that live online proctoring. If you're interested in it, a technician would need to be alone in the room. The desk or workspace would have to be cleared of everything except for the 2 sheets of scratch paper you're allowed. If the technician is using a laptop, they need to make sure it's plugged into a power source. You don't want the battery dying in the middle of the session. You're not allowed to have headphones or be on the phone during the session. You're not allowed to have dual monitors or a second device running that they're not able to see. Once the exam begins, you do have to finish your exam session. You're not able to leave in the middle of it. Throughout the entire session, webcam, speakers, and microphone do have to remain on. And the proctor has to be able to see you. You can't turn off your camera or turn it around or anything like that during the session. You're not allowed to have a physical calculator, but there is an online calculator that you can use on the exam platform itself. And any of that scratch paper you use during the session does need to be destroyed after it is submitted. So signing up for live online proctoring is done through the MyNate website at www.mynate.org, or you can see step-by-step instructions on natex.org/LOP. And you just register straight through your MyNate account, like you can see in that screenshot there, by going to the live online proctoring tab. We also have training resources available on the natex.org website. So under the recertification tab, there will be a link that says earn training hours, and that'll be a list of all of our online training providers that have course openings listed on our website there. And you can use those to prepare for the NATE exams or complete continuing education hours for recertification. We also have NATE study guides available for most of NATE's exams. Those are available on our NATE online store at natex.org. So we have study guides available for the core exam, AC and heat pump, gas heating, and the new certified HVAC professional, as well as for our certificate exams for the ready to work and HVAC support. And those ready to work and HVAC support technician study guides are also available in Spanish. We have an online training platform available now as well. That's linked to the Certified HVAC Professional or CHP5 certification. We partnered with hvacredu.net and Interplay Learning. They've got all their courses mapped to each one of those 5 exams. So right on your MyNate account, there's a CHP5 section that you can go to, and then you can view the courses available for each one of those exams if you wanted to take online courses to prepare for them. And that platform is available to everybody through their MyNate account. For all of our certifications, they do need to be renewed every 2 years to ensure that technicians are staying up to date with current trends and changes in the HVAC industry. There's 2 ways a technician can go about recertifying. They can complete 16 hours of continuing education during that 2-year period that they're certified and pay a renewal fee of $25 for the first certification and then $5 for each additional certification they're renewing at the same time. However, just like testing, the service certifications include installation at no charge, and heat pump includes AC at no charge. So if someone was renewing heat pump service, even though they also have heat pump install, AC service, and AC install, it would still just be a $25 charge for that one. The other option is to retake the specialty exam before your expiration date or within the 120-day grace period after your certification expires. And the same is true there. If your certification in heat pump service expires and all the other ones that you're in with it, you would just need to take that heat pump service specialty exam in order to recertify. As long as you did that before you expired or within that 120-day grace period, you would not need to retake the core. We also have available resources for contractors. NATE has our Consumer Contractor Connection Program, or C3. That program is free to register. The application is available on natex.org. Contractors are able to list their business online as long as they meet a minimum level of certified technicians, which is of the technicians you employ, at least 25% of them need to be NATE certified. And that just includes your installation and service technicians. That wouldn't include anybody who you'd consider a helper or an apprentice or anything like that. Over 5,000 businesses of all sizes have already registered with that program. And once you register, you're also on our contractor locator for homeowners. So any homeowner that's searching for a contractor that employs NATE certified technicians, you'd appear on that listing. And also when you sign up, you'd have access to admin reports that would allow you to check on the certification status of any of the technicians you have linked to your company, which includes their expiration dates and how many continuing education hours we have logged for them. Contractors can also become NATE testing organizations themselves. It's free to apply, and that application is available online at natex.org. NATE testing organization has to just agree to follow all NATE testing protocols and offer at least one testing session per year to stay active. And any testing organization does also have to have at least one NATE approved proctor before they'd be able to order paper exams or create online sessions. And that proctor can be anybody that is associated with that particular organization. To apply to become a proctor, so anybody that would want to be able to personally administer the NATE exam would need to be registered as a proctor with us. So to do that, you just need to agree to follow the proctor guidelines and fill out our proctor application form. You don't have to be a technical expert or NATE certified yourself to be a proctor. You just have to agree to follow those procedures. Contractors can also register to become NATE recognized training providers. Again, it's free to apply to become an RTP. And that application is available online at www.natex.org. Once you're registered as a recognized training provider, any of the training courses you give, you can register with NATE for automatic recognition on the technician's records. So once you register that course with us, you'd be able to submit attendance rosters with the technician's first name, last name, and NATE ID number. And then those hours be automatically applied to that technician's record for continuing education hours. And it's $95 to register a course with us for 2 years. And the entire time those 2 years that course is recognized, you'd be able to submit as many attendance rosters as sessions you hold. All right, thank you. We're going to open up questions now. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to send those out in the chat, and Daisy and I will answer them for you.
Tony, if a technician has forgotten their NATE ID number, what's the best way to recover that?
Okay. So if the technician has their MyNATE login, that would probably be the quickest way to get their NATE ID number. They can go to mynate.org, log in with their username and password, and then once they're logged into their account, if they click their profile button, it'll show them all their information, which includes their NATE ID number. However, if they don't remember their MyNATE username and password either, contacting NATE's customer service team would be the best way to get that NATE ID number. And you can do that by calling our general line at 877-420-6283 or sending us an email at asknate@natex.org.
If a if a technician takes a training course that is not an official training course with a NATE training partner, can they still get credit hours for those?
Yes, they can. So NATE can give technicians credit for any technical course they take as long as it's relevant to their specialty in some way. And that includes any courses that would be relevant to the course, so any safety, electrical, codes and standards, anything like that could also count for pretty much any specialty. However, those instructors for those courses that aren't registered with NATE, they're not going to submit an attendance roster to NATE, so it would be the technician's responsibility to get some sort of documentation they attended. Generally, a certificate of completion is best. And then they can submit that to Nate either through their MyNate account. If you log into your MyNate account, there's a section for recertification and a place you can upload your roster. Or they can email that into Nate to our recertify box at recertify@natex.org, and then we can get that added to their account.
Chris asks, we have weekly safety meetings and training classes every Wednesday. How can I get these accredited for NATE hours?
Okay, Chris. You just want to make sure your organization is registered as a recognized training provider with NATE, and that application's on our website at natex.org. Once you're registered as a recognized training provider, you'd be able to register that course with NATE. So for a weekly safety meeting, you could just register it as that weekly safety meeting. We know the topic's going to change, but in general, it's going to be about safety, which is covered on the core. So that can give credit to any of their NATE specialties. And then it would just be a $95 charge to get that registered for 2 years. And then every week you could submit your attendance roster, and then those hours would automatically show up on those technicians' records.
Michelle asks, if a tech is about to expire in training hours, is there a grace period still in place, or do they just need to retest?
Yes. So there's a 120-day grace period after a technician's certification expires, in which they can still recertify either by using those continuing education hours or by retesting. So even if they don't have their 16 hours, they can still take a few more courses during that grace period to hit that 16 hours, and then submit their recert app, and they can get processed at no penalty.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining. Tony and I will stay here for a few more minutes in case you have any last questions. And we recorded this presentation, and we will post this online, and we'll share this via email and on our Facebook page once it's available online. So you can share this with anyone who is not able to join today.
All right, Jeff, I see your question that your safety meetings are usually a half hour, and can that count towards CEHs? And the answer is yes. So when you register that course, you do have to register it in terms of hours, but it will allow you to register it as 0.5 hours, and then they would get credit for it.
Okay, thanks again, everyone. I'm going to close the meeting now. If you have any questions after this, you can contact us at AskNate at natex.org, or you can contact us individually. My email address is dweil@natex.org. And Jeff Howery, you'll be able to find the online recorded session on our website, and we will be emailing out a link to that, so you'll be able to check your email once we post it online. Okay, take care, everyone.